Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pulse Check podcast. Today, we have all the Rebirth / Resurgence legends in the house. We got my boy Tech over here. We got my boy Mr. Lucky Chamis. And we got my boy J God. Boys, y'all want to introduce yourselves? Let us know a little bit about yourself for those of y'all who don't know them.
I guess I'll start it. I mean, I pretty much came up in Rebirth. I mean, I only started playing like Warzone like 2 Februarys ago. So all the Verdansk creators were super established, and I just kind of saw a niche in Rebirth, and I was kind of the only thing I had enjoyed back then. So I was like, you know, let's just start Rebirth content, and it kind of just blew up. I didn't really intend to be a full-time creator initially, but here we are now.
Check out this man's YouTube, guys, because this shit's popping. All right, now
What's popping? Yeah.
Still popping. Stop it. Game sucks.
We're all three in Cali too, right? Fun fact. Jay,
oh yeah.
Yeah, we're all like in the same area. I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
No, but I do. I started doing Rebirth like towards the end of Verdansk. Very fast-paced gameplay. A little different content from Tech. I like to like do a little bit more like funny moments and mix with my loadouts. Actually, I remember talking to Tech before like my YouTube started taking off about like his thumbnails, and that was before he started popping off too. So we kind of popped off at the same time. But excited about this new map coming out and stuff too. So it'll be good.
Yeah, and I'm J God. I normally focus on weapon stat stuff. Recently, the game's been dry since we've had a 2-weapon meta, 3-weapon meta. So I haven't done much of that besides spectating randoms. Rebirth, I got more towards the second half once Caldera dropped, because that was horrendous, especially in the first 6 months of that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Right now, I'm enjoying DMZ. When we get challenges, it'll be nice. A new map's going to be good. I think there's a lot going on. A lot to be excited on. We get a new raid. Tons of content coming in this next season. So
yeah, I mean, we talked about everything last podcast with the new updates and everything like that. That's gonna be a crazy update. But now we finally got confirmation. And what I'll do on my end, boys, I'm gonna share a screen of everything on here to see what we have. They announced the new map, and let me tell you, I'm pretty damn excited. This is gonna be. Boys, first of all, before we get into it, what is y'all's thoughts? What do y'all think about everything? Are y'all think this is about to be like a huge W? Are you guys kind of like what's y'all's initial thoughts? You know, you guys are the other big, creators. Like, what do y'all think?
I'll start. Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, when I first saw it, I thought the map looked good. I don't know why they necessarily went with like the whole dark theme. I don't know if I was the only one where like, I feel like so many games that pop off, and you look at Fortnite or even Rebirth, is super vibrant, flashy. I feel like there's just no need to have something dark. It doesn't benefit. Like, I've been talking about it on stream a lot lately with some of the decisions. It's like, it's not worth potentially like ruining the game for some of these decisions. And I don't think that the map being dark is something that they should even necessarily risk to drive players away. Cause I think it looks bad, the colors, but the map overall looks cool. It kind of it's like a mix of Fortunes and Caldera in a weird way, but I don't think the map looks too bad.
Yeah.
For like the first one on this game, they'll probably make a bunch more and stuff. So I'm excited overall for just Resurgence in general.
I can agree. I agree with you. Lucky, go ahead.
No, I think there's actually a few things I don't like about it, but I will start with the positive. I think the idea of getting Resurgence back is huge. I think it adds more of a creativity feel for content creators and players, and to hopefully adapt their own play style. Some things I like about it, I think the theme is awesome. The whole Japanese theme with the castle and stuff like that. I think they have a lot of breathing room to kind of play with stuff. I don't think we'll have a lot of players, at least on the bright side, Tech complaining about like the sun glare, because there's literally no sun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the POIs look very interesting. I know they kind of, well, I'm not gonna get into negatives, but I think overall, I think the theme of season 2 is really well thought out, and I do believe they could potentially keep it going and keep the ball rolling with this theme and see some stuff, definitely freshen up the game, because like Jay got mentioned earlier, this game is definitely in a down bad state. There's no okay, not get there. But so overall excited.
So what I will say is the map, I think it looks good. I don't like the underground area. It looks like there's gonna be 3 entry points looking at that overhead view of the map. So like the water aspect is like cool. We got water, like that's nice. But we want like a little puddle here and there. We don't want like huge underground thing, I don't think. But also looking at the main like castle, it doesn't look like you're actually able to get on top. There, it looks like there's a window. And then you're gonna be like vulnerable as hell, like on top. So they've already kind of thought about that. And then, like I said, with the colors, I don't think we have to have it where it's like, oh, it's gloomy, or you get a blind spot. I think that we've had maps where we get both, where it looks nice, it's clear. I think Rebirth towards the end before they swapped over to that dusk one, even though the dusk one was cool. I think the one before that was still pretty solid, where it was like almost like there was a blue tint on the whole map.
Yeah.
But in a good way, not in a bad way, but in a good way.
Yeah. I like that. I thought, look, so I think that was my initial thought process is like, so I'm pulled up the screenshot of the actual like map, right? And when you see this map from a map, like from an overhead point of view, it looks super colorful. It looks crazy. Like that's what it seems like. And then you go and you see the screenshots of the actual gameplay and it's just all fog. I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie of that. That's my biggest concern with everything is how the map looks and visibility. But as far as the actual map, it looks pretty damn good. I saw J-God. I saw what you tweeted out, and I thought that right there. I mean, we're gonna have to adjust our color settings to get that. But I'm gonna pull up your Twitter so I can show everybody. But that right there is super sick. So pretty much, yeah, you want to tell them what you did? Because this shit looks clean.
Well, yeah, I just did some color filters like I would normally do for a thumbnail or something. Basic, generic on my gaming PC that doesn't even have all filters or anything. And I just brightened it up a little bit, added a little bit of saturation, and that's all it took. It took like no time at all to literally change the aesthetic, and it feels like Treyarch colored them.
This looks great. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this one, like, it adds so much color. So I mean, a lot of people said for Verdansk in general, like back then Verdansk was really bad as far as like the colors, and all you had to do was play with your monitor settings or like your in-game settings and it made it look better. So I'm not too concerned with like the colors itself. I just hope visibility is nice, because if Jay got tweaked this, and what, how long did that take you to do?
Like 10 seconds. Like
if it took you 10 seconds, like we can spend like 5 to 10 minutes adjusting our color settings for it.
Not even that too. I mean, guys, don't forget, towards the end of Rebirth, we had a time cycle, a day cycle of 3. We went from dark mode, which was they've brought back the zombie game mode in Rebirth probably 2-3 months after, before it completely went away. And then we had a sunset theme, and then I think we had like an even darker sunset theme. So I honestly like. I do agree color is an issue, but I'm like, I personally wouldn't mind them just switching the color every like 2 weeks. I'm sure it's not hard if they've done it before. So like although I don't like it, I don't think it'll be like too hard of a switch for them to do.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys think that's a big deal? I don't know how that works. Like, that'd be cool if they have a dark mode. It's already dark mode, but like a sunny mode. Careful with the sun.
Sunset.
Yeah,
the sunset mode
dude.
was by far my favorite.
Oh, that would go so perfectly with this theme. That would be so sick.
Every couple months, instead of maybe just releasing maps as often, I do think they'll add like a new map similar to how they do the Fortune's Keep.
Yeah.
They kind of changed the theme, and something I brought up a while back when Rebirth got taken away, and we were looking at potential new Rebirth map in Warzone 2. The idea I thought of was Nuketown. They take Nuketown, they expand it, put it on an island. But the reason I thought of Nuketown is obviously it's a fan favorite, but they could continuously update that map and decorate it, similar to how we saw with Rebirth, where they started outbuilding the construction, and they started adding buildings and added the boats and stuff. Well, instead of that, I mean, with this crazy fucking Japanese castle theme, they could definitely play into that theme a lot. And that's what I brought up in my first point, is that maybe they don't give us a new map, and instead they continued to update this map, but in the right direction. And I mean, they've shown patterns of that with Caldera. Caldera was a fucking shitty map on day one, and they definitely updated it towards the end. So just another route they could take that we saw not too long ago last year. So
also with the Nuketown thing, before I get sidetracked, is that they already did that in Blackout. They had a Nuketown section, and they actually built around with it. It was just a stupid bridge to get to it.
Yeah,
and
dude,
beyond
the best part.
Yeah. So
I remember that.
But go ahead, Tech.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's why back to like the Caldera point, how at the beginning it honestly just sucked, and towards the end it was good. But people's first impressions, especially casuals, is so important that I really, really hope that they nailed Resurgence and all the elements that people like. When you kill someone, you get a UAV ping. The respawn timers aren't too long, but also too short. Like, I hope that it's balanced very well and the casual community likes it, because I think first impressions, especially when people's first taste of Warzone 2 was bad, they're like, okay, we'll give Resurgence a shot. Like, I really hope that they did nail that, because I think it'd be hard to kind of recover like a third time, you could say.
Yeah.
And I almost hope they overdo it, like where it's too fast paced, too
Yes.
because then they can tone it back.
Yeah.
But if you start off like crappy, like they did with Fortune's Keep, like in the beginning it was like 40 players, and I was like, well, you need 50 players.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later they finally went to 50 players, or almost 3 months later. But by that time, people have already said like, I'm going back
That's
to
ass.
Rebirth. It's faster. And versus if it's fast out the gate, then you'd be like, damn, that like it's too fast. And then they could tone it down based off feel. And you could always have those stupid crazy modes too, like where that we had the totally not normal Resurgence or whatever the hell it's
Rebirth
called.
Extreme.
I remember that.
Like even like they can get closer to that and then tone it back rather than start off slow and then people get a bad impression.
So
I think they should lead into those game modes a lot, or those game modes a lot more too as well. Like, those game modes are so fun. Like, I actually hated that totally not normal one initially, until I realized that like landing in and having like really good weapons off spawn was a lot of fun. And like, it was just a nice pace for like a week, and then you go back to the regular. Like, I think they should play into the game modes a little bit more, especially for Resurgence.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Resurgence is by far what we were originally pitched back. Jake, I remember saying that they're going to introduce a sandbox mode. Well, when they did that, we got DMZ, which was not what we were expecting. But when you take the idea of a sandbox mode and you really play into the creativity of what you could do on that, that's basically what we're getting with this new Resurgence map. And I really do hope that, like you guys are saying, these LTMs are a lot more fun and creative, because we will always have the fun, competitive, fast-paced Resurgence, hopefully, that we're used to on the base map. But when you start adding things like gun game, prop hunt, extreme rebirth, stuff like that, that gets people going and is also not forgetting the fun factor in Resurgence alongside all these fun new game modes, it keeps it refreshed. Because just like Tech said, like, dude, I was doing like content every day, solos, or just boom, boom, boom. And then they dropped this new game mode, and like Tech was like, oh, this shit's ass. But I was like, wait, this just like cool, kickback, fun, have a good time. I was playing with them, Phil. Like, it's a good breather, because Resurgence shouldn't ever be taken from the approach of a tactical approach or something where you have to think to play. It's a mindless thing that you finally have a perfect mix of traditional Call of Duty multi-run and gun, but still that dopamine effect and that intensity of the circle closing and trying to be the last one alive. So, I mean, Resurgence gives it all. So hopefully, man, they can nail the fun game modes, because I think LTMs are slacking. It's pretty sad how the only thing we got was a fucking down bad fucking Rocket League knockoff that was awful. Think about that.
Man,
the game's been out for 100 days, and like Tech also mentioned at the beginning, like, we need to nail it or over nail it like off the release, because you've already lost a lot of your player base and a lot of your, you know, players' trust. Like, at the end of the day, we are the ones that bitch the most, but we're the ones who spend the most time on the game because we fucking love it and we want it to succeed. So hopefully they do something.
So my question is, boys, hearing what Lucky said, do you guys think they've learned their lesson in the sense of like, okay, we have they like those tactical shit, right? That we have right now. We have that for the big map. If you want to play tactical, they're definitely speeding up with all the changes, right? Do you think they've learned their lesson? And now, like, we're looking at this map, right? Are they going to speed it up? Are we going to get something, or is it going to be the same tactical gameplay just in a smaller map? Do you guys think they've learned their lesson, or do you think they're not going to learn until 3 or 4 updates from now?
I mean, I don't think so, but I hope so. I mean, cool. I really don't think so. But I don't know, like, I don't know how much of the community actually cares that much about like the slide cancel aspect, because I'm not a casual player. I would never know. But from people I've talked to in chat, the appeal of Rebirth is that it's a 10-minute game. And the downside of BR is that it's a 30-minute game. And so it's like those players loot up for 25 minutes and they end up getting into one fight at the end and they lose anyways. So instead of spending 25 minutes looting, they now spend 8 minutes looting or whatever, with a couple fights here and there where if they die, it's not the end of the world. I just think like the appeal of Rebirth is a lot more casual. Like, I don't know. In me, like Warzone 2 in general is so slow. But when I die and I'm spectating, I just like don't want to play the game anymore. You're just sitting there waiting for people to buy you back. Whereas Resurgence, if you die, it's not like the end of the world. So I guess we'll have to see how much people care about movement versus Resurgence, which I think is a little different.
That's a good point. I actually like. Okay, so what made, obviously it might be a combination of both of what made Rebirth so successful. But now let's say they don't obviously change the movement and it's just we're getting consistent, fast-paced gameplay. Are people still going to want to play this map? Are people still going to want to play Resurgence? Or is it like, yo, without movement, this shit's chalked? Like, was it that dopamine that releases whenever you slide cancel on somebody? Or like, is that what makes people come to the game? Or is it just that, you know what, I want as many engagements as possible? No.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think, Lucky, J God?
On that note, or the first thing you said?
Just whatever. No matter.
Okay. Because I forgot what the first thing with that tech was.
This is fine.
Well, he said if they learned their lesson.
Oh, if they learned their lesson. Thank you. Sorry. To just answer that real quick. I've talked to devs before, and I think a lot of players, sometimes even myself, I forget that although we saw a lot of stuff we hate about Warzone 2, and I do think their time and turnover of like actually fixing even the little things was way out of pocket. It took way too long. I don't think they should ever release a game around the holidays because I do think they should take their time off. But releasing a game that you worked on for 3 years and then disappearing for a month, 2 months is not something I think is appropriate. But I mean, I still want them to take their time off, maybe release it after that. But I think that, yes, they have learned their lesson. I don't think that we're going to see any changes on season 1 or 2. Because at the end of the day, although we're saying all this feedback, their main goal was, all right, now we need to fix Warzone 1. And who knows how long in development that this Resurgence map has been made, not just map design, but actually like, you know, I don't know what goes behind the coding and stuff like that. So our feedback is going to come on day 1, and we probably won't see that till mid-season towards the end of the season 2. The stuff that at least is highly vocalized in the sense of like, we need, let's just say, balloons. We need to fix this. I don't think it's going to be like that on release. I think they did learn their lesson, but as everything, like when you report a bug, it probably goes to the top of a sheet, right? And then it'll keep going down. And then maybe there's a new bug and it's, you know, game breaking. It's like, why aren't they fixing this bug? It's, well, because the first bug you reported a week ago is about to get into the queue and it needs to be fixed. So I think with this queue going on, everything that we're talking about Resurgence is going to take a little bit, but we'll see how it goes.
What I will say is probably not necessarily a lesson, but like there's certain things where maybe they have their meetings and like one person has like a certain idea, one person has a certain idea, and maybe during the end of Caldera there was a couple people that had good ideas and were improving the game. Maybe they'll start listening to those people for, you know, right now. You know, I mean, there's not really a other way to say that. And maybe that somebody had more authority and they were like, all right, cool, we're going with what I say. But at a certain point, it gets to a certain point where they have to kind of adjust. And I think from probably February of last year all the way until the end of Caldera, they saw gains in players, active players throughout the year. So they just need to do whatever they were doing. It's not going to happen overnight. Like season 2 doesn't automatically fix everything. Yeah. Probably what's going to happen is it just sets the floor of what's capable, what direction they want to go in, and then they probably have like a loose roadmap of what they want to accomplish by season like 3 or 4. And I don't think slide canceling is ever coming back. I don't think that was like the critical point of it. I think just base mobility should be faster, like being able to sprint faster, being able to strafe faster, pick up your gun, lower your gun, to jump and ADS at the same time, just to be able to a little bit. I think the plating is going to be a bigger impact on Rebirth or Resurgence than it was for BR, just because you get in more engagements. I was talking about with the chat earlier that in BR, the plating thing probably only impacts you in a very small percentage of your gunfights where you're taking on multiple people, but that's not the average player. They don't take on multiple people. Yeah. So like you as a streamer that plays aggressive going for kills is more likely to experience that, because most of the time you either die too quick, so you're not even plating, or you killed the guy and you finished the engagement, so you're plating without having to worry about anything. Yeah. So the reality is it's very small versus Resurgence should be more engagements, so you should utilize they should be more impactful within that. So I think that change will help. I mean, but they still got a long way to go in terms of speeding up the game, I would say. Yeah.
I mean, I know they haven't talked about it in the blog, or at least not that we know of, right? Next week we get another blog, right?
Weapon balancing, which I think will include stuff about snipers.
I hope also that includes stuff about like actual gun mechanics. I don't know. I don't know if they would have released it last week on that blog or if they would have released it in this next one. But that's another thing is, do you think they finally listen and they would give us crazy strafing speed or movement speed? If they are changing any of that base speed, movement speed, ADSing, bunny
I think
hopping,
that'll be in that.
it'll be in the next week, right? That's when we would probably know. I think that'll be a big tell as to what we're gonna get, because if it stays the same right now, the movement speed, this clunky feeling, I can see this map lasting for maybe 3 months, and then everybody just be like, you know what, like we just want to feel like fast paced. We want that arcade first person shooter that we all fell in love with. And right now, I mean, I can tell you, this does not feel like COD. This definitely feels like we took a couple steps back. But yeah, but boys, let's talk about the actual map itself. So I don't know if you guys have a picture of it, like the actual map. I have it pulled up here. What?
You're talking about the overhead view or the individual screenshots?
Yeah, I have the overhead view and I'm seeing everything. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 POIs, boys. 7. We got Beach Club, Port Ashika, Shipwreck, Suki Castle, Town Center. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Farms, residential chat. So boys, what do y'all think of this? Okay, let's just touch up on this. The people who made this map are the same people that made Fortune's Keep.
Yes.
It kind of feels the same in a way.
I feel like the map is very similar to Fortune's Keep, and I also feel like the play style of the map will play almost exactly like Fortune's Keep, which Fortune's Keep and Rebirth, like, if you're a casual, you may not notice, we're a completely different game mode, like maps, like playstyle wise. Rebirth was a very movement oriented, very, I think this map will play better for Warzone 2 than Rebirth Island would have. Rebirth Island is very open. You have a building and open, building, open. Whereas like Fortune's Keep and this map are, you have a building and then you have some little shacks on their way. Like, I don't think not having movement's going to be as big of a deal on this map in particular than if Rebirth Island was a thing. Because, you have prison and then you have an open field and then it's control. Whereas there's a lot more things on the map, even just from the images.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and I think my biggest concern with the map, bro, is I don't know what their deal is on making the center of the map the highest point. I truly don't know.
It's actually not.
So that's what I'm curious about. So based off what I'm seeing right now, it looks like I zoomed in on it. It looks like there is terrain, like it's going up to Suki Castle.
Yeah, so if you actually go to the Call of Duty and look at the castle tweet, it's kind of hidden by the cherry blossoms, so a lot of people missed it. There's actually a mountain that looks like pretty leveled with the actual castle, and that castle, I think, in my personal opinion, just off them, being the same company that made Fortune's Keep, it's gonna play out just like J God and Tech said about the keep part on Fortune's Keep, the POI. So you're not gonna be able to get in the building. You're only gonna be able to land on the rooftop. There's no cover up there. So I'm actually not even worried about the rooftops. And the mountain actually rivals high ground if you look at that tweet too. So I actually like that because in Fortune's Keep you didn't have that. The only things that ever got close.
Look, you talking about the one that they just posted today?
If you go to the
I don't know. When you look at the other two, it looks like that thing is standing like by itself.
Yeah.
Maybe the angle is weird, but
it definitely.
We're looking at Suki Castle, right?
Yeah,
yes, but if you look at the other two
one
that were shown that look at it, the castle is by itself, like 2 floors by itself.
And it's
way
kind of
crazy.
Oh, you know what? It could even be that we're looking at, it could be the angle, actually. I was thinking about maybe that other POI, too.
Look, like this right here, I'm looking
at
it.
Either way, I don't think you'll actually be able to get to the top, because when you actually look at the castle, there's only one window from the angle we have, and it's 3 levels down, which is only like 3 stories up. So it's not like all the way up to 7 stories or whatever. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
I hope it's not, but I feel like map designers need to truly stay away from this style. Oh my God, look at this. This is crazy. If you look at the beach one, you look at how massive that looks in comparison. If you guys pull that picture up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I just don't feel like the highest point should be the center of the map. Like,
yeah, you're right. I see that shit now.
It should never be the middle of the map is the highest. That's my opinion.
Well,
What do you guys think? I don't know.
And I could say it would be different if we had the balloons or something, but there's no balloons. Like, at least there was balloons, be like, all right, cool, no big deal. I can get on top of prison quickly. I don't have to go up the one of 5 different stairs plus a balloon, even though there wasn't really balloons that you can go up on top of prison, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this map design, again, I really like the theme, but now that we're kind of like being very honest, I think there's a lot of issues with it. And the biggest thing is travel time. If you look at Rebirth Map and you look at the actual base Rebirth Map at any point and you looked at it, the 5 biggest areas that people fought at, prison, control, anywhere on the map, the distance and the travel time between each of those 5 POIs was maybe 5-7 second run. Like if you're just running. And those were like, okay, if I need a gunfight, it's 5-7 seconds I run here, 5-7 seconds run here. And then within that vicinity, you have a bunch of breathing room to kind of like maneuver, slide cancel, all that stuff. On this map, you have, if you look at the beach club, just looking at it, look at the distance between us and the castle. And this is all the way at the beachhead. You're running, unless you're using a car, you're fucking running 30-40 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, to even get to the castle, and that's with no balloons. And my biggest fear is that these developers have went the route of making this map not just for Resurgence, but the leaks of also came out that they based this map off of a DMZ and a fucking maybe a raid mission where I got to go underground with the fucking boat and I got to go fly the helicopter to the castle and get the fucking scroll and take that shit to the beach. And they created this adventure on the map of like trying to explore, and you're now trying to navigate. And you know, I could go back to the positives, you know, there's less bushes and stuff, but the distant travel, you take out movement out of the factor, you take out everything that could, you know, a bot might argue with a competitive player and what should be and not be. At the end of the day, you are playing Resurgence. You want to get in gun engagements no matter the type of player you are. If you want to be a 4-stack and push a building, that's how you want to play, that's fine. If you want to be a solo squad, slide cancel, YY, you could do that. But on this map, you are going to spend more time running from POI to find people than you will be actually engaging in a fight, no matter your playstyle. And that's my biggest fear. And that was the biggest thing I saw as soon as I saw this beach club picture, is because I'm like, okay, if I'm here and I want to go to the castle, I'm talking about a fucking journey. I got to get my hiking boots and fucking backpack and fucking hike the fuck back up there. And with Resurgence, if you die, then you got to spawn back up and then, you know, get your guns. So it's like, you know, that's my biggest, you know, takeaway. And alongside, Jaga mentioned it before, they, I think, added too much of their water element into the game. Like, it should have been just a lake or maybe a little pool area. I feel like they expanded the water because they're going to add vehicles onto this map like they've done with all the other game modes. And they really they are fucking, come on, guys, to sell these boat skins and really start pushing the boats so I can take a fucking boat from Castle all the way to here because this underground system they got going on. So there's a lot of things I don't like, and regardless of playstyle, the distance, the travel time distance is, I think, the biggest #1 flaw on this map that I see. Again, I don't know, might be, you know, 64 players or whatever the fuck it may be, but just looking at it right now, that is like a big red flag for me that I'm like, fucking hell.
So okay, going into what he just ended on, boys, what do y'all think? I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, bro, this is massive. This ain't no Rebirth. This ain't no Fortune's Keep. This is a massive. I'm looking at the beach one, and I'm only looking at the bottom right, like of the map. We still have that we're looking at right
center
here.
Point, the castle.
Yeah,
then you gotta go the fucking whole nother fucking thing.
We have about 1/4 more, you know, area to cover. This is a massive map. All right, so now going to the question: how many players do you think this is gonna have? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if this ain't like, it feels like this gotta have like a crazy amount. Boys, this cannot have 50. Even 60 scares me. Like, this map looks huge.
I think you'd be surprised if there was. I'd be shocked if there was more than 50. I really would be surprised. You said like 50 and like even 60. Like, I think there's almost no shot at 60. Not even close. Which I don't think would be bad for the game. I don't think 60 would be bad. I don't think like you said, the travel time and movement speed wouldn't. If they had like 70 or 80 players, I don't even think the map would play that badly because of the fact that it takes so long to get from place to place. But I mean, I think I'd be shocked if there was like 60 people on the map.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would be surprised. I think they'll do 50 to start, and then eventually it may need 60 or adjustments in spawning. But it feels like simple things, as simple as just changing a number or changing the other number, how quick you can come back. It seems like they take way too long to change them. Just experiment and go, you know what? It didn't work. It did work. Oh, it's great. It didn't work, you know? But I think it's going to be 50. It's going to be, hopefully it's some resurgence thing. Hopefully they're copying what they did with Rebirth, because who knows? Maybe they even do what they did in Blackout, where it's like this life system, timed spawns, like
Oh,
wonky.
I remember that. I don't, boys.
Yeah.
I think we. Go ahead, Lucky. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think I'm gonna answer your questions wise. How much do I think they're gonna do? Definitely 50. I don't know about you guys. You guys been playing a lot. The serviceability at the moment is fucking awful. I'm sure Chad could agree. It seems like it got worse. So I think they're gonna keep it at 50. But how much would I like? I mean, 65, 70. Just looking at the map. Am I gonna get that? Probably not. No. I'm tired. You know, I'm not gonna get what I want. It's pretty clear. But I don't think we're gonna get anything that comes close to what this map needs. But I don't know. I don't fucking. Hopefully, I'm fucking.
Maybe we'll be wrong and they'll just blow it out of the water and just 70 players, fast plays.
Wrong.
Which is what I've said. Where like I think the first impression on it's so important. Where like, I think, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they even should have had like some content creators test the map, like even just from home. Have 50 people see what the map plays like for a couple hours and don't release it to everybody, because that's my biggest fear is they release it. And it doesn't matter how quickly they do it. If people, unless they're planning on making updates within the first week, if people don't like it the first week, they're just going to move on. Like I know people in my chat who are like, I got on in the first 3 games of Warzone 2 I played were so boring. I still have never played. First impressions are so important.
And I think there's some that haven't even tried Warzone 2 at all.
Because everybody's
not a resurgence.
Even then, people say everybody talks so much shit about the map. Like I've had people like, nah, I've seen it play and it just looks boring. I don't even want to play it. Everybody says it's slow. I've heard that too.
See, I don't blame the map though for that though.
No, the map is amazing in my opinion.
I love the map.
I love the map.
I love the map.
For, like the actual map for what's it called, Al-Mazrah, I love it. The thing is, it's just the movement, it's the mobility, it's everything else. That shit just plays so slow, and so it's like, are we about to make the same mistake? Because I'm not gonna lie, bro, this is dead ass making me think of Caldera. Like that's what this is. That's the vibes this is giving me. Caldera vibes. I just it looks way too big. They gotta make this like a 75 player. I don't think they do it, but 75 plus. Like right now, the server. I don't think they have the capacity to do it. The server is like being that big. I don't know. You're right. First impressions are everything, and I'm scared. I'm scared because this game has so much potential if they just listened.
It's like weird because I have mixed emotions where I'm both like fucking like first impressions, but like I'm frustrated and it's like, damn, this sucks, because I personally believe, like we were told face to face that by these devs, we're gonna cater to every play style, the sentinels, the fast paced players, and all these snipers, whatever. And the only player that has ever been catered to from the start of this game has been the camping, slow-paced tactical sentinels, which is fine. Yeah. I get it. They need some W's too, and that's cool. But when you make a game solely based on that, that works for DMZ. DMZ is fantastic, but I do still believe the devs or whoever at top, I say devs, but whoever's at top, you know, started setting this game from let's build DMZ and then off that let's branch off into a Warzone, then branch off into a Resurgence. Resurgence shouldn't play the same way as Warzone. Warzone shouldn't play the same way as DMZ, and the whole cycle continues. There's no reason why I need to fight fucking defenders at the castle to get my loadout. There's no reason why in Warzone the meta to win is using a fucking black site. Those are DMZ aspects. Keep them at DMZ. DMZ is doing fantastic. Do it over there. There's a reason why Warzone's not doing hot right now, and half the community's fucking pissed. It's because when you play Warzone, you want to fucking play Warzone. When you play DMZ, you want to play DMZ. And if they repeat that same mistake coming in to Resurgence, which is the stereotypical fast-paced COD multiplayer, any play style goes, and you make it a meta to have to play slow and tactical, get 1 fucking 5 kills, and to win the game, at the end of the day, it's like, we're fucked. We're gonna be fucked, because then you kind of see where the devs' minds are at, or again, whoever's at top minds at is like, okay, fuck all that. We want to make sure the DMZ players can go play whatever the fuck they want and are still playing their core game.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, this right. You keep saying it. I know what you're trying to say as far as like the guys at the top, because there are devs, and we always roast dev. We say devs this, devs that. A lot of devs, some devs actually care. Yeah, some of these devs actually care. But the guys at the top who are in charge of making the money, in charge of raising that stock price, like that's where a lot of these changes come from. It's the guys at the very top, and it's like it sucks, man. We're stuck in a horrible position where they got. Literally, you got to make. They're doing everything in one game mode. They're making DMZ feel like Warzone. I'm not gonna lie. I can bet that this Resurgence. Sorry, I keep saying Rebirth, but this Resurgence is gonna feel like it's intended for DMZ. And they need to individualize everything. You want fast-paced, insane gameplay. Play Resurgence. You want something in the middle, kind of play Warzone. If you want something tactical, go play DMZ. They need to separate it, and if they don't, they're going to lose the entire player base. Right now, we've dropped, 75% as far as just from Steam numbers? 75% of their player base is something crazy like that. I don't know the exact number.
J-God knows.
J-God, yeah.
Well, no, it's not necessarily that one. The other one that's important is the revenue per player has gone down 70%. Like how much people spent on the game, because obviously the Modern Warfare 2, obviously the cosmetics suck, but even when cosmetics suck, people still buy cosmetics. It's just how it is. It's like you got to factor in everything. How many people are buying battle passes? How many, like all those factor into the number, and it's 70% left in Vanguard at the start, which it is. That's just horrible. They're losing, and that's why we're seeing changes. I think you're right that DMZ though is how this map was made for. Like they made it work for DMZ. The underground is gonna be a mission where I gotta go grab a laptop. I gotta go replace it with I gotta open a safe, unlock the safe, swap out the safe materials or classified documents, and then we gotta get out of there on a boat, and we gotta make it to an exfil at the edge of the water. I mean, it's gonna be lit. Yeah, lock down the castle. I don't know. For me, I enjoy DMZ, so it's not like a big deal. I think DMZ is going to be great. I think Resurgence will probably be like mid, and Battle Royale, I don't think it'll work on the map. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, boys, Lucky said this earlier, and I see it a lot in the chat, and I want y'all's opinions. A lot of your chats are about to get a little rowdy, boys. So this statement right here in the castle post, they said Chuki Castle, Ashika Island, infiltrate quickly past the tower's defenders, reach the hidden space. So this literally confirms that there's going to be AI in Resurgence. I don't even know what to say, but what's y'all's thoughts? There's towers defenders in this. I don't know. That's a little. It's confirmed
sucks.
now. Yeah.
But we definitely got introduced this into Fortune's Keep, and although yes, AI as a base or an L, I think a lot of people in the chat are just gonna off rip say L, because our experience with these AI over the last fucking 100 days have been so fucking down bad. It is actually fucking disgusting. But Fortune's Keep, in all fairness, they didn't do it too bad. Like there was a group of 5-6 AI that spawned, and it was after a contract. They were ass. They were like one shot.
They were just annoying.
You could literally run by them, and they were like they're slow, and it's whatever. And it's like, fuck it. If it's gonna make the casual players happy, because at the end of the day, Twitch, you guys are the 1% that really we're all against a lot of this shit, but the bigger and vast population like to shoot something, that being AI. So it's like, okay, let's find a happy medium. And that's what I think that the COD people at the top have done a very poor job in finding a happy medium to kind of connect both worlds a little bit. Because of Fortune's Keep, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
There was even at one point a zombie mission where if you wanted to get specialists, you unlock a thing, you kill 30 zombies real quick and you're done. Took 20 seconds, you get specialists out of it. Yeah, there was some positive and negatives about it, but at least it was a cool little feature they had. I thought it was actually cool.
It was cool. You get a wall hack perk too.
Yep. You look back at Verdansk. Remember when we had the big tower building? What we did for World Series Warzone, and you had to fight a couple bots, I think, or defuse some bombs or something like that. I don't know what it was.
I remember that.
So adding that aspect of a mission, I'm not opposed for, but we're 100 days in, and the Warzone fucking bots in Warzone 2 are by far the worst fucking experience of my fucking life. And if they plan on introducing AI bots off the rip of this game, it better be fucking peak perfect, brother. Because if they introduce it and it's fucking god awful, they're locking on through walls, they're shooting people from a distance. Dude. I'm fighting level 3 fucking bots. It should be level 1 bots, no juggernaut, no level 2s, no level 3s, level 1s, and that is it. Then we can, okay, fuck it. I could find that happy medium.
Well, I wouldn't even say there's a guarantee that the AI will be there, because if you look at the last tweet before you get to say that, it says drop into the new free-to-play Call of Duty Warzone 2 small map featuring Resurgence and DMZ gameplay on February 15th. So it could be that like that is geared towards the DMZ player, that you're gonna have to infiltrate. There's gonna be a mission that's probably gonna be a POI where they have a juggernaut, a chemist, or whatever the new like boss is, and that could be for that. So best case scenario, maybe there's no AI, and it's just for DMZ.
Hopefully.
I mean, I just think it didn't they talk about in the blog that they were planning on nerfing AI?
Yes.
Adjusting. It says balancing. It's very vague on what that means.
Yeah.
It means that they could like just remove tier 3s. It means that maybe there's less of them. Maybe there's only 10 AI instead of 20. Their health could change, their accuracy. I mean, there's so many variables.
Yeah, I think that ultimately, if they are on the map for Resurgence, will depend how good the map is, in my opinion. If they're like Fortune's Keep, it won't matter. It won't affect what people's opinions are on the map. But if it's like it is now, chalked.
I personally don't
There's
think.
no way.
Yeah, I personally, boys, don't think. I keep saying this, but then it's going to come back to bite me in the ass. I do not think that the AIs, if there is AIs, they're going to be anywhere even close to Warzones. Because right now, brother, listen, I don't, J-God, you play DMZ, but I
played. We were going on I played 5 matches. We got like 4 wins and a crash. Or 3 wins and a crash. But we played the bottom, and that bottom black site, that is chalked. There's zero reason to go down there.
Seraph Bay?
It's
stupid.
Possible.
Like, what were they thinking?
Oh, it's
that's
crazy.
More cracked than anything at
I think it's bugged.
anything.
No, it has
to be
bugged.
He said it's bugged. Yeah.
Yeah, every black site should have, and you see consistency along all the other black sites except Seraph Bay. There's level 1 bots, level 2, level 3, and then the Juggernaut. And Seraph Bay, it's about 1.5x amount of bots there. And then I believe the population, instead of it being 70, 20, 10, it's like fucking 30% level 1s, and then everything else level 2s and level 3s. So that's why you're getting shot across the map with a bot with a pistol that has more HP than me and my whole team combined, and they're putting me down in just a fucking magazine of their pistol. That's the problem. They don't know the consistency, and that's what I mean is like this game was released 100 days way too early. How do you not have the biggest feature that you want to talk about at least balanced? Like in a sense of like, that's a bug. If you go to now under Sorin Pass, Village, if you go to Village down there, those bots shoot through buildings. If you go up towards like each black site, there's a bug with the actual bots. And it's like, okay, holy fucking shit. Like we're going into this and you're gonna throw this in potentially into Resurgence. Like it creates more of a frustrating experience for players across the fucking board. I mean, I think the reason casual players don't complain about too much is because half the casual players, 80% of the community base, doesn't even know how to get their fucking loadouts, let alone what the fuck's a black site. I'm sure they see black site pop up and think it's like an ad or something. I don't even think they know what that is, but if they did know, they'd be like, oh fuck, holy shit, you know? And that's why it's not fixed, because casual players don't even get to that point. You're saying a casual player, 0.3 KD, is gonna do a stronghold, get the key, and then go across the map to the black site, and then do that?
Never happens. Never happens.
Sure.
Play with randoms. And you'll never they don't even go to strongholds. Like it just doesn't happen.
That's why it's not fixed yet. That's why it's not fixed yet. But it's like, okay, we're telling
if it was an issue, they would. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this
goes back on Tech's first point of it, first impression. No matter the type of KD player you are, you're gonna experience a Resurgence if the bots are there. Like it's not gonna be hard.
like
I think this update is so scary in a weird way because it's
I'm shaking.
It's literally 50-50. It could be amazing or it could just suck, which is terrifying because I think Rebirth kind of carried, or not even kind of carried the game at the end in Caldera for sure. So people are still so high on the whole Rebirth and Resurgence game modes that maybe they don't even like regular BR anymore. But if Resurgence sucks, then it is chalk.
It makes sense. I mean, it's the COD people, like the appealing to COD people, not BR people. Like, dude, if we made a true BR, oh, cool, we grabbed all the players from PUBG, H1Z1. Thank God we got all their players. Like, who gives a fuck? You know?
Yeah, that's literally what it is now. That's what it is now, bro. It's like
If this was what 4 or 5 years ago when PUBG was out, I don't even know how long. I'd be like, fucking dude, this is fucking amazing. They killed it. Holy shit.
Yep.
This is ass.
But times evolve, boys, and I mean, you see that everybody's tired of that slow ass gameplay. And I would say this right now, man. We have this game for 2 fucking years, and this update, I'm not even trolling, might just be the shifting point of it all. I can see. I'm not even trolling. I've had conversations with Lucky, and I said it. I said, Lux, after this update, bro, this might be the beginning of the fall. Like right now, we think we're down bad. But if shit doesn't improve, in my opinion, this next update, I see all those people that are trying to hanging on for dear life, that last effort. I see a lot of people leaving, man. And especially if Resurgence, if they show us that they're not caring even about Resurgence, I think it might be the fall, man. And obviously, we know that history always repeats itself. And we've seen games, obviously, H1, PUBG, all these games are amazing, and then eventually they just stop listening. Game dies. Fortnite, they do a great job at dying and then resurrecting back to life and shit. But
Fortnite dead though is still like what COD wishes it was at its peak.
Yeah, 100%, 100%
to do that.
But
which is cool. Fuck it. I mean, like Fortnite, unless you're like a super competitive person, at the end of the day, it's like Fortnite, man. I was playing it the other day. They have something for anybody. For anybody. The only people that I could see or that I know, bitch, are the people in the content, or I guess you say competitive scene majority of the time, because it's like they share the same crazy fucking hammers that get added. So I like, it's rightfully bitching, but like, dude, Fortnite has so much breathing room and so much like, dude.
Yeah, no competitor either. It's not even close.
I know, bro.
They could do what they want and they could get away with it, but they do it.
Well, it's part of the same thing with COD. Obviously, it's a different niche and it really has no competitor. Halo could have kind of like come out that way, even though that's an Xbox PC exclusive. And then even Battlefield, like they could have done something, but they did nothing. So COD's like,
Fortnite's coming for Call of Duty.
But,
You guys
well, maybe with
leaks,
the first person thing, but that was supposed to come out in December. So
I still think Fortnite. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Fortnite, they know what they're doing, and the shit that they're doing behind the scenes is probably like. Bro, look at what they did when they are masterminds at making sure their game doesn't die, in my opinion. Like when I say die, right? Like it'll go down, but then look at the way the game was when it first came out. Everybody, literally, game of the century, right? Like as far as uproar in the community, everybody was playing that at the time, right? A couple people probably playing BO4, but then slowly things started to go down. What did they do? No build Fortnite. Everybody's back. Everybody said how fun it is. You know, they're keeping. I feel like, bro, they're doing a very good job at that. But I don't know. I don't know how first person would work on that. But you know,
it's because they're always adapting and they're always open to their community changing. Like, for example, I competed in Fortnite, so I remember back when building started becoming a crazy thing and people started leaving the game. They had removed turbo build for an update, and people went crazy. It was miserable, and they brought it back within, I think it was a day or two. They brought it back. And then, I don't know, they just kind of like adapted with their game. And, you know, a year later, 2 years later, they brought no build. But I just think they're always adapting and they're moving with their community, which is something I think COD needs to start doing, is start moving with the community. And it seems like a lot of the community is like loving and obsessed with Resurgence. So start embracing that and start splitting the game up, like we were saying, with like them trying to make this new map for DMZ. Just split it all up. There's going to be, like, if Fortnite has a build mode, no build, and a first person, that's 3 modes that they can all cater to in its own avenue where people can play whatever they want.
Wait,
100%.
so J-God just shared something? Bro, I'm going to show them this. I didn't think it was like this.
That shit's gross.
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm
this
pulling
is
it up.
what I was going to, well, be careful because this is a leak.
Oh, is this leak?
This is early shit. You might get demacked for this.
Oh, is this?
I don't know. I don't know if it is.
Oh, it's a glitch guide. Okay, so it should be fine. I looked at the comments. It's a glitch guide because there's
that's
another
crazy.
video that I saw that actually.
It looks sick.
Wait, should I show it? I don't want to get obviously in trouble.
Why don't you link it to the chat.
I'll link it to the chat.
Right, yeah, I'll link it to the chat. I'm gonna put it in chat. Copy.
What that stuff reminds me of is like Dota 2 versus League of Legends and CS:GO versus Valorant, where the hardcore community will always play Call of Duty, but the most massive majority of the player base will go play Fortnite, for example, if they want a first-person shooter, because it's more vibrant, it's more fun, just like most people play Valorant, but the super hardcore of those style of games play CS:GO. It's kind of like a give and a take.
I don't know,
Same thing
man.
with Dota.
This video is kind of crazy to me that it's getting that good.
It looks that good, bro.
Like-
That looks nuts.
Like,
Well, you think about it like this, like, dude, Fortnite's like a fucking monopoly. They see Call of Duty struggling. They probably see the community being torn into pieces. Not too long ago, they introduced fucking perks. They introduced bounties, and now they're introducing this first-person mode. And the idea, you could literally make a Call of Duty map on fucking Fortnite with this first-person mode. Call of Duty needs to fucking gas it up, because since day one, they've been able to get away with some of the most bare minimum effort at times, and also like going crazy with the effort. But it seems like the COD community is finally like getting to the point where we're fucking fed up. And who knows, they might just not give a fuck about it. They might actually start listening to us. But I've been saying this since fucking Warzone 2 release, is like the fact that we're even have players thinking about going to Caldera on a game that was in progress for 3 years.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck if you say the game's, oh, but it's good in this way, it's good in this. I don't give a fuck. Why is it that any game that's worked on for 3 years by a developer or a company like Call of Duty is like struggling to be better than their last? Caldera being their last.
bro, I
So
played, dude, yesterday,
That
boys.
map is so bad.
I played Caldera yesterday, boys, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna try it. I literally 1v3'd at the end and clutched up. I don't think I've gotten that level of dopamine like in a long time. Like, I was like, the things that you can do when there's even a small skill gap, it is crazy. Like,
That's the player identification. Like, that's the player style that we aim for Caldera and Resurgence. Like, you were able to play that way. If you were somebody who wanted to camp, you could camp. Like, Iron was very tactical back then. He was still able to do that. People on Resurgence tech, you remember being a 4-stack and running to grab, oh, it's a fucking 4-stack. It pissed you off, but they could still do that and maybe get a win. Or you could go in there, slide cancel, stim out, and kill them all. Call of Duty once had the idea of cater towards every playstyle. And in this game, they didn't do that. And now we're stuck with one. And if you don't like this playstyle, you're fucking dipping out. And that's fine, because at the end of the day, that's what they're kind of pushing for. So it's like the fact that you're forced to play one way in this fucking game in a BR, it's sad, bro. It's sad. And especially they told us too, man. They're like, we're gonna fucking cater towards every play style.
Well, that Jeff clip is gotta be like
businesses.
the most Warzone 2 clip of all time. Like that, what he said the other day.
what do you say?
Well, he said like there's just nothing special about the game. There's no
Well, he said
clips.
there's no clip ability.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
There's
Well,
no
you
like
saw it. I'm
outplay
sure you
ability.
saw it.
There's no viral clips. There's no mechanics. There's no
okay, yeah.
outplays. There's no literally nothing. I mean, I post clips on TikTok every day, and I think my best viewed video is like maybe 1 million views, and it's just everyone commenting VPN, but no one says anything. It's chug.
I was having this talk
There's
with
no
Swag the
impressive
other day.
kills.
Dude, I was having this talk with Swag, like a week ago. We were on the phone and we were just talking, and we're just talking how down bad content creation is. And the biggest thing is the identification. Yes, there's certain things like the tips and tricks, the proximity chat that's gonna pop off, but that's your quick couple second dopamine rush and you're good to go, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, what made Warzone 1 so successful in the content creation, and not just creating content, but viewing the content, is having such different avenues to make your playstyle yours. You could go watch a TC Tech movement video. You could go watch me do a fun, stupid fuck around custom games. You could watch someone solo squad. You could watch someone do a tactical tips and tricks video. You could watch a sniper montage, a movement montage, a tutorial on how to do shit. Now, there's one tutorial out there, how to do a stronghold black sand with a game. And that's pretty much it. There's no loadout videos anymore. So they've already killed off 4 communities: movement, sniping, loadouts, and bundles. They've killed 4 off the rip. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you're limiting the content that can be produced to these viewers, whether maybe half the time who people watch movement clips weren't going out there. They were trying to do that, but at least it gave them something to want to do and want to try out. Maybe they were never at that level, but it created this atmosphere where like you could be such an amazing player like Tech if you put the time in. And maybe they never got to that level, but it was still a viewing experience. Or people who'd even try to go do that, but it was just a visually appealing, fun thing to do. And now it's like, I'm over here doing solo nuke attempts and they're fun, but like I'm now getting bored. I'm like, okay, what's next? And I'm scared because there's nothing next.
Yeah, there's
like I'm doing a solo run and I'm sitting here and I'm in a fucking black site for 20 minutes and then I play endgame and it's fun. But now I'm like, I'm bored of it. I'm like, okay, what's next? At least with back before, you could do a sniper montage. Snipers don't one shot no more.
Yeah.
Movement montage. fuck a slide cancel. People would say, oh, we need slide canceling back. No, we just needed to find a bridge between slide canceling was unhealthy. It was used too much, but you knew that your community liked the movement aspects. You slow down all the amp, you slow down all the utility usage, switch your weapons, ADS. You introduce sliding and fucking dolphin diving, which nobody does. So it's like you killed off that community. And it's like, fuck, man. It's a scary time to be a COD player, content creator, viewer.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, those mechanics too are mostly useless. You can watch the CDL.
Oh, yeah,
which is supposed to be the best players, and you can count on your hands combined how many times they slide or dolphin dive combined for the entire weekend of an entire tourney. It's literally less than 10 times.
It's
always
pointless.
a dolphin dive. It's never a slide.
A slide is
it's
dead ass
dumb.
pointless. Like they literally right now the slide has no purpose. They can take it out, and I promise you, not one person would care. I don't think I've ever used a slide ever. I literally
I did. It got me killed. I'll tell you that.
So like I don't know, man. I think kind of wrapping it all up, right, man? It's like we have a big opportunity, man. I will go down and say that if they don't change anything, Warzone 2 will be the biggest like missed opportunity ever in history of COD. Because the gunfights, I personally love the way gunfights feel, but they can be so much better. Strafing speed, ADS speed, fucking anything. Excuse me, sorry. Sorry. They can just make the game feel 10 times better, but they're just not, because what they're scared of, I have no idea. But man, we had such a good.
I don't think that's the case now. I think we're gonna see the ball rolling, and it's gonna be like ramping up the same way we saw with Caldera. They were chalked for like the first 3 to 4 months where literally nothing happened. It was like game. They just couldn't even figure out how to make their game work for console.
Yeah.
So I understand that was a huge issue, but I think we're at that point where it's like, boom, that was the first change we saw in Caldera. And then after every update, mid-season update, it was a weapon balancing, new content, balloon, PDS, even it was something stupid like, oh, the underground railroad or whatever the hell that was called. You know, like literally
which they should keep doing.
Yeah,
like
they changed peak like 3 times. They added foliage. They did the Godzilla event, you know, like literally this was all the last 6 months, but it didn't start until like March. And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be seeing the snowball, and hopefully we see Wed in there, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
My God. So is Raven Software working on Warzone 2?
No clue.
They haven't like said anything.
Well, I
But
think they tweeted the other day that they're working, like, I'm pretty sure Infinity Ward said they're working alongside Raven now. Like, I think they fully tweeted that.
I don't really know how it works though. Like, obviously there's a public presentation and what is actually happening.
Yeah.
And what's consistent on changes. And then I don't know how much Raven is split between what they're doing here and how much they're supporting what Treyarch's inevitably doing in the next 2 years or whatever that is.
So, I mean, look, boys, we have, it's going to suck, but I think we're about to witness a lot of growing pains right now, right? Hopefully we can say that the worst is behind us. I don't know, but if history repeats itself, last year, just like Jay God just said, Caldera was horrible up until about March. Then they started implementing stuff that made the game bearable, adding perks. They made the game 10 times better. Now, the good thing is we do that, right? But it's not like last year where, September, November comes around, scrap everything all the good shit that we have, all the quality of life, scrap it, and a completely new game comes out. I guess that's the only good side, is that like we have 2 years of constant improvements, hopefully. And
if we last that long.
If we last that long, I'm gonna be honest, if it lasts that long.
It's all good. I'm putting out a top 10 loadouts tomorrow, and it's gonna be total bait. 2 loadouts. It's just gonna be RPK copied.
And then
the Fennec copied.
I just think the X13s are better than Fennec.
The secondary is going to be the X13.
Yeah,
so you don't run overkill all the way across with the perk. And it's going to be probably like a 1 minute. Maybe it's a short. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
A short?
That was funny as fuck.
Shorts Fun comes out tomorrow too.
I know.
Does
We're
it
gonna
actually?
make 12 cents a million views.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
It's probably less than that, actually.
Oh my God. Listen, I don't know, man. I think
I hope I'm wrong about everything. Side note, I hope I'm
same.
wrong. They blowed out the fucking park.
People think that like we just sit here and complain all day, but
no,
I hope it's amazing.
It looks very promising. Just coming from experience, we've been let down the last couple updates, but at the end of the day, you know, we can never give you guys what you want and stuff like that. I get it, but I hope that we've learned, and I hope that I'm wrong. I do hope that this game blows everybody, not just content creators, but fucking the players. Like, the fact that your casual players aren't even enjoying your game anymore, it's like, fuck, sucks. So I hope I'm fucking wrong about everything. We get a fucking killer shit, bro. I mean, the theme's awesome. Japanese theme, I'm so excited about that.
Boy, I mean, I guess, so...
Where's combat record, by the way, too?
We talking about combat record?
Yeah.
Hey, imagine they drop it for the Resurgence map first. People be fuming over there on Mazra.
Bro.
You gotta buy a gun charm and it tracks it just for you there.
Bro,
one thing, do you guys think there'll be a nuke on the map?
That's a good one. I fucking
I
hope.
hope.
I pray. I pray. How that's gonna work? They better make it like 10 games in a row. But then Lucky said he think. Lucky, you want to say what you thought? They might change it.
Which what?
They might change nukes.
Could be a good thing that the map's big.
I mean, I heard that. You know, I heard leaks again that they're reducing the nuke counter from 5 to 3. So
that'd be nuts.
Map.
I would be so mad. I would be so
pissed. Can't even
pissed.
get 2 wins though. What the hell? You tripping? It just saves you time.
I
would be so mad.
2 wins because of all the bugs and the inconsistency in this game. But at the end of the day, it's like, cool. I do think that DMZ has a fucking 100 different skins. Maybe they want to do tiers. Like if you get 3 wins in a row, you get a nuke attempt. It's a fucking baby nuke. I don't know. And then whatever it may be, at the end of the day, I think Rebirth, if it does have a nuke, it'll be a little bit more difficult because just imagine, right? You're trying to carry an element or do a task, and you got people who get spawn in the air and fucking dive on you right away. I don't think it's going to play out the way we want to. I think we're definitely invested in the idea of doing a challenge of some sort to keep that retention of a player on the game because it is fun. But at the end of the day, what that looks like is very hard to tell. So it's even hard for me to imagine what would be enjoyable for me to do. Because just imagine how I imagine it, if it is a Rebirth Resurgence nuke, is just watching Nick, Swag, Tim, and Cloak, where it's just fucking constant shoots. Boom, 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 boom. That's going to be basically Resurgence with nukes, no matter the type of player you are. When you're getting live tracked and people could fly to you within a short distance. So, I mean, I want them to do something. I don't have an idea what they would do. If they do a regular nuke, fuck it. I'll just suck it up and do it anyways.
Well, I think they could, because if you like, when you do a regular nuke, you just you just wait for the perfect center zone contract, and you just wait 15, 20 minutes for the thing anyway. So by the time you grab the first element, it's about the same length as a Rebirth game.
Yeah, you don't see them tweaking that a little bit though, because like
they definitely would change it. They'll change the nuke for sure to accommodate Resurgence. I believe that 100%. But okay, no bullshit. Everybody knows this game's ass right now, right? But the one thing that everybody always compliments, bro, is like, you know what? Like the nuke itself, the trying to get that has been the best thing they've ever added. It's made them like actually want to play. In my opinion, it's the one thing saving the game right now. You know, like so if they don't put that into Resurgence, which is arguably their best like mode and was keeping them alive a year ago. I don't know, man. I can see them not putting a nuke in. I can see them not doing it, but nothing at this point. Nothing would surprise me. That's just me.
To be honest, though, I don't think having a nuke in the game or not in the game is gonna kill it. To be honest, I would rather them not have a nuke off rip. To be honest, because it's like I want to experience Resurgence. I don't want to have to play like a little bit slower and safer to secure the win. Resurgence is about boom, full set. Let's get
well, what I will say is, if it's anything like the other one, you'll just be farming wins. Naturally.
Yeah.
Because you give good players enough lives, they tend to win more often. That's what's great about Resurgence.
I mean, bro,
even if you deal with the rat, you're like, poo, we'll just deal with the rat. We know where he's at. We'll just regain whatever you need to do, you know?
Dude, we did like a 19 win streak one day, just chilling, and it was like you know, so I hope if they do it, they do make it like 10 wins.
Warzone 1 where there's a skill gap. I mean,
I don't know. It's different. I had a 30. I think I had a 30 game win streak.
Damn, bro. See,
and Warzone 1
but I wasn't streaming. So I didn't have no snipers.
I think if they had that on Rebirth or even fucking Fortress Keep, I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's do it. But I just keep looking back at what the fuck we have now. It's hard for me to imagine what it could be.
Oh, Lucky's so funny.
You know, this is what we got, bro.
You can tell he hates the game so bad within his soul.
I will say this. I definitely am very disappointed with the game. I do acknowledge that IW or Raven is going hopefully in the right direction, and they made some changes that I think should have been on day one. But I can't sit here, like, since day one on Warzone 2 launch, like, I was looking back at clips while everyone's, like, defending the game. I was like, bro, why are we fucking settling for the bare minimum? And it took about a month or two, and then people were like, they finally, like, you know what, fuck, if I don't get fucking pajamas this month, it's fine. I'm going to talk my truth. And so I've been like that since day one. No, seriously, it's because, like, as a content creator, it's like you got, as respectfully, kind of voice your opinion, because if not, I mean, dude, we be in a fucking shitty position. And I get shit from chat all the time. It's like, you're not talking to my brother. I just talked to fucking ranted the last fucking hour, you know? But I mean, I will say this though. I'm trying to be a little bit more optimistic. I'm trying to be a little bit more open-minded about what I do try, but I still have stuff I am worried about. So fucking hell, man.
Wes, one final question, man. What the fuck are we gonna do for 2 weeks until this shit comes out?
Well, I'm finishing God of War. And then Hogwarts Legacy on the 7th.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then, well, you got to buy the deluxe for that.
That's true. That's true.
And maybe Stray in the middle. That's like a 5-hour game. We're good.
I don't know, man.
Sheesh.
What are we gonna do, man? DTRP. I don't know.
I will be going for my 17th RPK Fennec video, and then a best loadout video, and then a Fennec video, and then a Vaznev, and then
forget to do the
recycle it.
pops. I heard
Oh yeah, a regular RPK one.
Yeah.
And then I will be raging every gameplay about Ghost.
True.
Yeah.
Well, you guys stream late. You guys could do Dead Space, the remake.
I'm
Do
scared.
late night vibes?
I'm scared as
already. I thought it was
fuck, bro.
cool.
It's good.
It's not
It's good
scary.
game.
It's not.
It's not scary. It's
Nah,
lit.
they
It's
told
good.
me the chat was telling me that it's fucking scary as fuck. And
Well,
that,
I don't know. No, it's not really. You might have a basic jump scare,
like
but
a
the
zombie
graphics and the
game.
mechanics are so good that you don't even care about that part. It's not really like
It's
that.
a great game.
I had to play through it twice because my game crashed and my file got corrupted on stream. My PC blue screened, and then I was 9 hours. I was like 80% through the game. I restart the computer like normal, load in, no save file. It starts, and I was like, all right, fuck that. So we ended up watching no commentary, finished the game, and then the next day I was like, nah, I'm gonna finish this game. I have to finish the game. So I just went on the lowest difficulty, and I was done in like 7 hours.
oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
We'll see.
Boys, we'll see,
One
man.
question:
Go ahead.
Are we gonna see the same cycle with the next Warzone 2? Like Warzone 3 or Blackout 2, whatever.
Just
Like,
imagine.
are we really gonna please don't tell us we're gonna have like 3 months of nothing and the game sucks, and then like we'll slowly make it.
No.
Like they have to learn from
Treyarch,
this,
hey,
right?
listen. In Treyarch, we trust, bro. No bullshit. Hey.
Like they have to learn. Right?
Treyarch, bro. I'm not really concerned. Treyarch, bro. I mean, I am concerned because it's COD still, but Treyarch is goated. I think we got 2 years of this. Hopefully, we're on the up and up.
At least you're not making zombies content.
True.
Dude. I feel so bad. Fuck it, bro. At this point, I mean, we saw the fucking link of Fortnite, bro. If they're adding fucking fucking first person, fucking customizable maps.
Hey, if they had loadouts in a gulag, that shit's
it's I'm gonna be over there fucking Fortnite dancing Renegade Waiter. Like what? Like,
Renegade Waiter.
Use code Lucky Shamo in the item shop.
yeah.
Listen, I said it, bro. If it does come to the point where like this, we just see that they're not caring anymore, it's down bad. You're gonna see me on Fortnite, brother. I'll be boxing people up and shit. I don't
But
know.
not even that. There's a lot of cool games coming out too. I just honestly, I do think it's healthy that Call of Duty definitely feels some pressure, not just from a community, but from a competitor standpoint in other games. So I'm actually happy Fortnite is branching off and doing a first-person mode and adding perks and stuff, because it's like at the end of the day, right now, if you think what the fuck is Call of Duty competing against, it's not much, if anything. And I don't think that creates a healthy environment for anybody other than Call of Duty, who pretty much kind of do whatever they want. However they want. But when you have other games in the mix, you know, where it's like, I don't know, PUBG, H1Z1 are competing, then it's like, boom, you got each game trying to make the best fucking update. Who remembers Call of Duty versus Battlefield? I mean, it was like this for a minute, like, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Call of Duty. Battlefield lost its footing there. And I mean, where do we see Battlefield now? You know what I mean? So But it definitely improved the game a little bit. Hopefully, we have some type of competition. I think it's good to have a healthy competition with another game. So.
Have y'all? Is there anything even remotely close to coming out like that can give COD competition? I've heard of that, the finals, and then I've heard of that X Defiant.
Even that, no, I don't think that is. X Defiant's garbage. It's multiplayer, lame.
It's an arena
lame.
shooter, right?
No,
Yeah,
it's
it feels
not.
like
I
trash
just think
too.
those types of games are outdated. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, they're
Not
just
for me
dated.
personally.
It's just multiplayer. It's not a BR. X Defiant.
No, it's just multiplayer 6v6 or 5v5 even.
I think if you're not going the BR route, or if you're not going a mode similar to Resurgence, like, bro, if I was a fucking game developer,
It has to be a single player game, if anything. But then those don't have like the longevity.
and those don't compete too. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, if you made another game that added movement, but also different play style, fun, color, like that could appeal to all ages, and you're talking about a Resurgence where it's fast paced, yet you still get that slowly towards the end dopamine rush of a fucking game. Holy shit. We'll see though. I have to fucking pee.
Well, I guess we'll see, boys. Well, boys, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. That concludes our podcast for the day, boys. That was a W. That was a W. I think we just gotta wait and see what happens, man.
Midnight Society.
There's a lot of expectations for the future and what's gonna happen. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I'll be honest. I said it at the beginning of the stream. I'm gonna say it now. If they don't start cooking, bro, within the next 2 updates, it might be chalked. So, boys,
My tummy's hungry.
boys, appreciate you guys coming out, man. As always, thank you guys so much. Y'all are the GOATs. Let's see what happens in a week.